time for the Roundball Roundup Camdenton Laker basketball show from the Funky Buffalo. And now your hosts, William Holtz and Ron Dugan.
That's right, the Roundball Roundup. It's our 8th edition of the show. William Holtz, Ron Dugan talking Camdenton Lakers men's and women's basketball for 30 minutes. Normally we're going to talk 40 minutes today. Got a longer show. 2 girls coming on, Tegan Shockley, Coley Rezebek, and Ron. Girls get 2 wins over the last week. Guys get 2 losses. So we'll touch on that. What'd you see from the guys program over the course of the last week?
Well, they had a makeup game against Bolivar, and Bolivar is a fantastic team, 16-4. 3 of their losses came in the Tournament of Champions, which is bringing in talent from all over the country. Oak Hill, which is the #1 team in the country. Yeah. 10 Division I recruits. I mean, they're amazing. But they lost to Republic early in the season. But they're a really good team, and they beat us by 14. And actually, you know, Lakers played pretty well. Only losing that team by 14 is really somewhat of an accomplishment, actually. But then we go to Waynesville last night, and, you know, it was a really close game. It was a 6-point game. Get to 3 every once in a while, and then Waynesville answered every single 3 that we made. And it was close until about 3 minutes to go in the game. We got back down by 9, and then Waynesville absolutely hit every single shot that they took in the last 3 minutes. Our defense kind of struggled there in the last 3 minutes, and then our offense did too. Bad combination. Ended up losing 70-51. Dylan had a solid game. He had 19 points, 11 rebounds. But he had 8 rebounds in the first half, 6 of which were offensive. And that really helped keep us solid in the game. You know, we were getting some offensive boards, getting second chance opportunities, kept the game close. Like I said, 3 of 6 points, 6 points at halftime. And again, it was that way until about 3 minutes to go. But, you know, Braden DeMarc had another solid game, 11 points. Brady Kemp had, he had 8 points. And Hunter Glenn had 6 points, had a couple trays, you know, and they were big shots for us. But, you know, we just couldn't get the lead. We couldn't get them tied, and they just stayed ahead of us. And, again, like I said, they just hit everything in the last 3 minutes. So, anyways, just one of those losses. They're a good team. You know, they're a 500 team, but they're really athletic, and their guards are really good. And we tried to slow the tempo down, you know, to kind of keep the game close. And we did that for most of the game. But when we couldn't hit our shots and they hit everything, that was the end of it for us. But you know, we got some games coming up. Like you said, we got Rolla coming up, a court warming game this Friday. Big game in Camdenton. Rolla is unbelievable.
Outstanding.
22-1 this year, and they're averaging right at 79 points a game. So it's going to be a tough task for us. But then, you know, we also have Battle next Tuesday at home. And Battle's a team that, you know, we can compete with. Certainly. And actually, 3 of the last 4 games are against teams that we can beat.
And get on a run. We talked about, you know, basketball being a game of runs, and they can certainly do that over their last stretch of games. Now, back to the Waynesville game, I did get to talk to Dylan, you know, Tuesday night after the ball game, and he said, you know, we had it close. We were playing good. He's like, but like you mentioned, Ron, they just kind of went cold, and Waynesville heated up, and especially against the competition Camdenton guys are seeing this year, that is a bad combination. And so as it stands, they're 9-13, 1-5 in the Ozark Conference, and they've got their work cut out for them. You talked about Rolla coming in 22-1, their only loss coming to Ozark early in the year. And I mean, this is just a team that can really, really shoot the basketball and also defend. And so if Camdenton wants a shot to win that game, they're going to have to really, really rely on a good crowd. So if you're watching, make sure you get out Friday night, support the guys. They need all the help they can get at home. Come out and make some noise, and they could use it. Like I said, 9-13, 1-5 in the Ozark Conference. Some good things we've seen from them, but they're going to have to really, really put together a solid 4 quarters if they want a shot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Against Rolla.
Yeah, you just can't have any lulls, you know, against teams in the Ozark Conference.
And it's going to take a complete performance from everyone contributing. So like I said, 9-13, 1-5 in the Ozark Conference. Go support your guys. We're going to take a short commercial break, and when we come back, we'll talk about the women's side really starting to heat up at the most important time of the year. We'll talk about that, and we'll talk to Tegan Shockley and Coley Rezebek on the Roundball Roundup after this.
Hi, I'm Lake TV's Ashley Kyle. Ever wonder who produces so many of the local television commercials you see here on Lake TV? We do. Lake TV's full-service video production department can create commercials like these that can drive potential customers to your store or business. Contact us today and see what Lake TV's commercial production department can do for your business.
Polylift boat lifts.
Your boat is a major investment. Make sure it sits on a poly lift.
When you need a boat lift to raise your boat out of the water, choose the one voted best boat lift at the lake. Choose Polylift. Any size, built with the best quality construction, a lifetime warranty on the tanks, and the service to stand behind it. We don't just build boat lifts, we build Polylifts.
We don't just build boat lifts, we build poly lifts.
The Funky Buffalo Brew House and Trading Company is home to the Roundball Roundup Camdenton Lakers basketball show. And it's home to the lake's best coffee, scones, and handcrafted sandwiches. Come see what all the talk is about and enjoy the beautiful, tucked away in the woods setting. While deciding from our irresistible lineup of drinks and treats, you'll also notice some of the most breathtaking art from local artists plastered all over our walls. The Funky Buffalo Brew House and Trading Company, taking pride in being much more than your normal coffee shop.
Lake area. You ask for more sports and Lake TV is delivering. Whether it's Mizzou Network segments, live Sporting Kansas City soccer, live Missouri State Bears basketball, live high school football, and even exclusive sports features and interviews, Lake TV Sports is gearing up to bring you more sports than ever. For all the latest with us on sports, follow Lake TV Sports on Twitter at Twitter handle Lake TV Sports. And we are back on the Roundball Roundup. Ron Dugan, William Holtz, time to talk about the women's program. And tell you what, Ron, very, very good week of basketball, starting with a game Thursday night at Glendale. Solid game.
It was a really solid game for them, and it's always tough to win on the road in the Ozark Conference. But they go to Glendale. You know, they took care of business down there. They won 60-44. Very balanced scoring attack. They had Bailey led all scorers with 17 points. You know, Blair Kurtz had a great game, had 11 points for her. Alyssa had 7. Coley Resbeck had 7, and and Sophie Shore had 6. So very balanced attack. They did a great job just taking care of business on the road, and then they come home. They've got a good Waynesville team that they played. Waynesville's 13-6. They're a very athletic, excellent team. You know, and they knocked off Columbia Hickman, which we saw in the Lakers shootout not too long ago. And a really good team, and you were at that game, so tell us a little bit about that one.
Heck of a ball game. I got there a little later than I had anticipated, but I still got to see a very, very exciting game that was really a nail-biter. And you talked about them beating Hickman. That Hickman team beat our girls at that shootout. So you're thinking, okay, Waynesville beats them, is going to be a good game. And it was. I mean, it was back and forth. I got there, and the Lakers had a 6-point lead. Well, then it was Waynesville going on a 7-0 run and really gaining momentum in that game. And at that point in time, it was 47-46, and Coley Resbeck took a huge charge at that point in the ball game, and kind of gained momentum. And then it was back and forth, tit for tat, just back and forth, just going at it. And I'll tell you, there's a big point in the game with about 2 minutes left, and it was, if I remember correctly, it was Blair Kurtz got a steal off of one of their big girls, because if you didn't get to see the game, Waynesville's a big, big team. Yeah. Gets a very hard-nosed steal, kicks it ahead, and the leader of the team, it was Bailey Resbeck, takes it to the basket and one, finishes that, and they're up at that point in time 56-55, and they pull away, and it was the free throw shooting that was good late. Rez hit a couple of free throws. Ripley had a steal, got fouled. She hit one of her free throws. Spraggins went 2 for 2 in her last 2, and even Teagan, she hit a couple of big free throws, and they end up winning 68-59, and it was one of those games that could have went either way, and to see the girls hold on and get that W, it was huge. They improved to 14-5, 5-1 in the conference, and that's a game you lose, shifts momentum on the season.
Well, and it's really important when it comes to the district seedings also, because you've got to win those games against district foes and to have a higher seeding in the district. So it's really important win. And you were talking about the charge that Coley took, those things are really important, and they change the momentum so much in games. And just little subtle things, like the steal, that Blair had, and those things, they change momentum. And it makes all the difference in the world, especially late in the game. So those are huge plays.
And one thing that it's worth touching on about this team that sets them apart from any team I've seen is their composure. There was a point in the game we saw a flagrant foul, and it was against one of the girls for Waynesville that blatantly pushed, full extension on Kendall. Kendall hits the ground, and they hesitated for a minute before they called, the intentional foul, 2 free throws in the basketball. But at that point in time, the girls could have lost their cool. but because of the composure their coach has really taught these girls, they kept their composure and they get a win late. And that could have carried on another moment when they were pressing. Sophie Shore, great defensive play, slides over in front of the girl towards the sideline, takes a charge. The girl even pushed off. Sophie goes flying back. They blow the whistle. Sure, it's going to be a charge. They call a block. I mean, I was losing my mind as far as, you got to be kidding me. But they kept their cool. And, the composure always prevails.
Well, and that's that senior leadership for you, too.
Certainly.
If you're playing a lot of underclassmen, they don't maybe hold their composure quite as well. But that senior leadership in that team, can get through those situations and know how to handle themselves and know what's really important. And instead of trying to retaliate or something like that, they go about their business and continue on.
It's crazy about that. We talk about balance. 7 girls scored 5 or more points. I'll run through it. Resback led the way with 18. Coley had 11. Shore had 9. And although Sophie Shore had 9 points, these big girls, there's a 6'4" girl playing, for Waynesville. And her defensive effort, getting in there and getting rebounds, a couple of jump balls, she dove after a rebound that clearly she had no business getting. She tied it up. Otherwise, they score a basket. So her effort defensively, her leadership, and then Alyssa Ripley, 9 points, a handful of rebounds. She scored her 1,000th career point in the ball game. You love seeing that at home because we talk about Alyssa Ripley from day one. She's one of your favorite all-time Lakers playing in this program. You just love the girl. You root for her. You want her to be successful. You know she will be off the court. So to see her get 1,000 at home, you love that. And to finish out the scoring, both Spraggins hit a couple of threes. And I was talking with Jeff Caffey after the game, and he said, she has the ability to really stroke it from outside, but she's hesitant to shoot because she wants to get everyone else involved.
Right.
So he challenged her before the game. He said, every time you don't take a scoring opportunity, you're going to be punished with running. And so she shot a couple of threes. She missed her first one, bangs home the next couple, and is contributing like we know she can. And then Tegan Shockley, big game. She's very hard-nosed, couple of big steals. She had 6, and then Blair Kurtz, can't say enough about her effort. Night in and night out, she had 5. And then you even saw Natalie Basham. And, even Kylie Meyer, even though they didn't show up in the score, some big-time rebounds, a couple of big-time assists. And, I'll tell you what, huge to see these girls, even deeper down on the depth chart, make big contributions all over the court.
Exactly, and it's so important. And we have seen a major improvement from those younger classmen. And, their contributions coming off the bench are huge, and it's really going to pay dividends for them down the road.
This team is going to be locked and loaded for years to come, and we've seen that. So they get the W 68-60 or 59, so they improve to 14-5, 5-1 in the conference, and they have a makeup game Wednesday night at Buffalo against Bolivar, I believe. And then Thursday night, they got a big-time ball game. It's coming up at Rolla. That's going to be a big one down there. And then they come back home Monday against Lebanon. And so some big-time games. Go support your girls. They're in a position to run away with this thing. I'm not talking about the Ozark Conference, but put themselves in a prime position in that district seeding and really make a run like we know they can. And the sky is the limit, and anything can happen any given night with this team.
Well, and that Lebanon team is really solid. They're 14-6. They're playing really well right now. And that's a home game. And we know how we love to root against Lebanon. So we hope everybody can come out and support the Lakers in that game.
You and I will be there rooting on our girls, and I can't wait to see that one. So when we come back, we are going to have both Tegan Shockley and then Coley Resback. We're going to get to know them off the court a little bit. Instead of just talking about basketball, we'll have both those girls on the Roundball Roundup after this. Camdenton Laker fans, want to catch the latest highlights, updates, and analysis on your Lakers men's and women's basketball teams? You want to watch exclusive coaches and player interviews? Then tune in to Lake TV and join me and Ron Dugan for the Roundball Roundup every day at 12:30 and 6 p.m. for an action-packed 30 minutes of nothing but Lakers basketball. And if you can't catch the show on TV, just email me at the email address on your screen with a subject line of Roundball Roundup email list, and I'll personally email you the newest episode every Thursday afternoon.
Lake TV and LakeExpo.com are bringing the community closer together with the Lake of the Ozarks news update, keeping you up to date on recent developments and upcoming events. Watch it every weekday on Lake TV or on the web at mylaketv.com.
Back here on the Roundball Roundup, and it's time for our player spotlight. We've got 2 for you this week. I'm joined by sophomore forward Coley Resback. Coley, what is going on?
Not much. How are you?
I'm better than I deserve. How are you?
Good.
So you got a couple of big games coming up. Wednesday night, you go down to Bolivar to play Buffalo.
Yeah.
And then Thursday and Monday, big games. What are you thinking with these stretch of games coming up?
I think it's going to be good for us to get a couple games in this week because especially this Wednesday night game. It's a makeup game from the Bolivar tournament since we didn't get to play because of snow days and stuff. So it's kind of nice to get in the rhythm again, especially with districts coming. So get a few games under a belt, and it was a big win against Waynesville, so that really helped.
Huge win. We were talking about it earlier in the show about that big charge you took. Talk about Waynesville and just the way they play a little bit and how you girls kept your composure.
Yeah, it was. I knew coming into it, and we needed to get that win, and it was gonna be a tough fight the whole game. And I knew I was gonna be guarding Callie, I think her name is, and she's this huge post, and she's going to Lindenwood, and I knew it was gonna be a big job. And so, Coach told me just to do my job, and I went out there and I tried to do my job, and I took that charge, and I knew that was a huge play for me. And I saw it coming, and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to take it, I'm going to take it. Took the charge, then number 13 decided to give me a little push afterwards, and it's like, you know what, I'm not going to do anything, just let her do it. And no technical, but I was like, let's just move on to the next play, and came out with a W.
And that's what's really set you girls apart, because not only do you guys play so well together, but you keep your composure in those moments, and your coaches really preach that at you girls because you take the high road and it pays dividends, and you see down the road you end up winning more ball games because of that, not letting them get into your head.
Yeah, it's huge.
It's big, and you girls are bigger than I am. I would have a hard time. I was furious at that point in time on the sideline watching. So enough about basketball. Obviously, huge aspirations this season. The sky really is the limit. But I want people to get to know Coley a little bit. First, I want to ask you, what is your favorite part of playing with your older sister, Bailey?
Oh, gosh. It was a dream come true when we were little. It's just so fun to, just be out there with her. And we just know where we're at in the court the whole time. And it's just indescribable, really. It's just, after I make that big charge, just like her coming up to me and just like the excitement we get, and when she drains a three, it pumps me up so much. And I like the little res-to-res connections when I dish it out to her and she drains a three, and it just gets me really excited. It's fun.
And don't hesitate to talk about it. She'll dish it to you, and you'll hit a three too. You can stroke it outside. Don't give her all the props. You girls have been fun to watch, and there is something special about the res-to-res connection. Now we talked about your favorite part. What is your least favorite part about playing with your older sister?
Sometimes in practice she gets on to me if I don't do something right and stuff. But honestly, there's really not my least favorite part of playing her. It's just fun, honestly. It's just fun.
Is she harder on you maybe than some of the other underclassmen?
Yeah, I think so. Just because she knows I can take it, and at the end of the day we still love each other, and it really just doesn't matter. I give crap to her all the time too. It goes back and forth. So
she's got thick skin. She can take it.
Yeah.
Dish out a little more if you could. I think she needs that. Okay, so playing with your sister's been a joy. We got to talk to her the first week of the show and got to know her a little bit off the court. So now I'm going to ask you some questions. What is your favorite TV show?
Favorite TV show? Oh, I really like America's Got Talent. It was cool to see. I like Amazing Race too. I'm kind of into those shows, so those are probably my favorite.
I think I could go on America's Got Talent for singing. Not really. Okay, so tell me, you got a favorite show. How about a favorite movie?
American Sniper.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I really like that movie. I watched it 3 times actually, and I love it. It's great.
Gets better every time. I've seen it a couple of times as well. So only a sophomore, but as of right now, going towards obviously past semester, but what are you looking at doing after high school, or have you even thought that far?
I really haven't thought that far. I know I want to play basketball in college, and that's for sure what I want to do. But I really don't know where or what I want to do, but I know I want to play ball in college.
I think you've certainly got the opportunity to do that, especially 2 years still left. You got some really, really good coaches and good players around you. You girls are, not to look past this year, but even though you're going to graduate some big-time seniors, you've really got some good players around you.
Yeah, we do. I'm excited for next year, with our 2 juniors, and then our class moving up with some of the JV players will play varsity next year. So it should be fun. It's going to be good to play with our 8th grade team, as we call it, this whole season next year, and then the 2 juniors will make it good.
Yes,
it'll be fun.
Certainly will. So give me your very favorite food. You certainly have one, right?
Oh yeah, ice cream. I love ice cream.
Someone else said that this year.
Really?
Yeah, I don't remember who said ice cream this year, but I don't think everyone loves ice cream. Okay, so how about a real food, that main course?
Steak.
Steak? Yeah, that was your sister that said that.
Steak last night for my birthday dinner. And
birthday dinner?
Yep.
Was your birthday last night?
Yesterday, yeah.
Oh my goodness! Happy birthday to Coley Resbeck. How old did you turn?
16.
Oh my! Are you driving?
Took it today. Passed it.
Oh, high five! That's so cool. Well, how about that? We have her on the show the day she passed her driver's test. So don't get on the road because she's wild. We've seen her play basketball. What kind of car do you have?
A Honda CR-V.
color?
Gray.
Just trying to give everyone a fair warning if they see the gray
Watch out.
Honda, to look out. So now back to basketball just a little bit. Talk about the experience of getting to play for Coach Caffey over the last couple of years.
Yeah, it's been great. She's taught me a ton. I went up in 8th grade. I went up there and played open gyms with her, or their team, and I was so nervous. But I just got in there, I played, and she taught me so much from every single day. I learned something new the whole time. She's a really good coach. I respect her a lot, and she just knows basketball, that's for sure.
Okay, one thing I stress to this team especially is, you've only played for this team, as far as high school basketball, correct?
Yeah. Actually, last year I went up to Minnesota and I played, but yeah, other than that, yes.
So how much different was the Minnesota team from this team?
Well, Minnesota, they had a lot of upperclassmen, and so I played JV, but I'd say down here our team chemistry is way better because we've been around each other for our whole life, and up there, it just didn't seem as strong as it was down here. So down here is definitely, I feel, more welcomed and stuff, and it's a lot more fun down here.
And that's where I was kind of getting at with that, is it's hard for you girls to understand if you haven't seen a lot of other basketball teams. There is something very, very unique and special about this team as far as the leaders on the team, the way that you guys are faith-based. You're very strong in that. It shows in the way you carry yourself. Talk about maybe one thing that you think will really help Coley Rezabak in life that you've learned from playing with this team.
I think just sticking with it and never giving up, because even in practice, if we knew we didn't have we need to make this goal, and we all knew we just can't give up, we need to keep pushing. And I think that's the same thing in life, set a goal for yourself and just never give up and keep pushing at that goal until you achieve it.
Awesome. Coley, good luck the rest of the way.
Thank
Enjoy
you.
driving. It's brand new to you, first day.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that, and thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah.
Big fan of yours on and off the court. I appreciate you coming in.
Thank
good luck.
you. Thanks.
That's Coley Rezabak. That ends the first of 2 player spotlights. We're going to be right back with Tegan Shockley after this.
Soccer fans, Lake TV thanks you for tuning into Lake TV this past MLS season to cheer your Sporting KC squad all the way to the playoffs. As exciting as it was to provide live Sporting KC soccer to you this season, we're even more excited to announce that we'll be bringing you live Sporting KC soccer in HD for the 2016 season. Stay tuned into Lake TV for season updates on Sporting KC. Lake TV congratulates Sporting KC for another U.S. Open Cup championship.
The Funky Buffalo Brew House and Trading Company is home to the Roundball Roundup Camdenton Lakers basketball show. And it's home to the lake's best coffee, scones, and handcrafted sandwiches. Come see what all the talk is about and enjoy the beautiful, tucked away in the woods setting. While deciding from our irresistible lineup of drinks and treats, you'll also notice some of the most breathtaking art from local artists plastered all over our walls. The Funky Buffalo Brew House and Trading Company, taking pride in being much more than your normal coffee shop.
And we're back on the Roundball Roundup. It's our second player spotlight of the day, and we've got junior court-warming princess candidate Tegan Shockley joining us. Tegan, love the crown.
Thank you.
I was going to ask her if I could try it on, but she already told me no, so we'll skip that and we'll get right to business. I want to talk a little bit about the Waynesville game. Huge, huge game. Could have went either way. You girls kept it together, came out with the win. You scored 6, had a huge ball game. Talk about that game just a bit.
Before games even start, we're always the day before a game, we're preparing for that team, and we're going to focus on this. And so we knew that Bildner was going to be effective and that we needed to shut her down and keep the guards away. So, our goal was to shut the defense down, but to be aggressive offensively. So, and that's just, and we can't leave it up to Rez or Sophia Ritt. So, we've been trying to balance it out throughout the team. So. And
you've got extreme contributions from everyone across the board, including you. Your 6 points. You had 2 huge free throws late in the ball game. Went 2 for 2 at the line, and those are 2 free throws. You don't hit those, could be a different ball game.
Yeah.
You're that's what I do. What I do. Okay, so it's really exciting. Your girls 14-5 right now, an opportunity to really make a run in the district. But just like I told Coley, we're gonna get off the subject of basketball. Give me a hobby that outside of school and basketball that Tegan likes to do.
This may seem school related, but I really love to read. And all of them like to make fun of me for it, but I love reading.
So that's okay. That's totally cool. I wish that I did read more. Okay, good hobby. How about favorite actor?
Okay, this is just really hard because I love watching movies, but I really love Anne Hathaway.
Yeah, she's good. Mm-hmm. She's good. Now, you love to read and you love to watch movies. That's a bit of a conundrum. I'm confused.
I don't see how that's a conundrum.
It's
I mean,
not-
it's
it's
like
not
you read
good.
the book and then you see the movie. It's just a win-win.
Okay, you're on to me. You're good. Okay, so I know the answer to this, but I got to ask you. She thought it was weird, so go ahead and tell the people what your favorite food is.
I really love fried potatoes.
Weirdo! That is insane. Not that weird at all. Fried potatoes, what does it normally go with, though? Because I know that's not a main course.
Yes, it would usually go with spaghetti, and the rest of my family would have green beans, but
Now that's weird. Okay, I didn't give you a hard time
I know.
about the fried
I know.
potatoes with spaghetti and green beans.
yeah, I don't like green beans though, so I just have spaghetti and fried potatoes.
Okay, well that's interesting enough. That's not bad. Okay, so now on to school and a potential career. I know that you're all over the place with that, but if you were to pick one thing you could see yourself doing after school, what do you think that would be?
Oh man. I mean, I know I want to go to college, and I would love to get a degree in something. Considering I came from a family with teachers, it's like I could see myself working with people. Like I want to be connected with people, so it has to be something in that area. I don't have any specifics, but
Awesome, and I did tell you this one day at one of the practices, but it's a small world. Your dad was my 5th grade intramurals coach, and I remember a time, it was in Eldon, and I remember a time your brother was at our intramural practice, and he was mad. He had to be like 7 or 8 years old, was mad, and he was getting angry, and then in turn your dad kind of got angry at him.
Yeah.
And you said, yeah, dads do that though, so not just your
Okay.
dad. Don't be alarmed. Okay. Now back to basketball. This team is as you heard me talking to Coley about, very, very unique and special. What's been your favorite part about being part of this particular bunch of girls?
I mean, I think it'd have to be our team dynamic. We are all like so like connected, and I consider them like my best friends. And like being able to play on the court with the people that you love, it just makes the game so much more fun. Like I couldn't imagine playing without any of them.
Certainly. So you said you didn't say your favorite subject in school. You've got to go ahead and tell us what your 2 favorite subjects are.
It's leaning between history and English. I mean, I really like looking into the past and like reading up on what happened and how we can make changes for the better.
Certainly, and they say that history repeats itself, so
Sure.
that can't hurt. Now, we talked about this group of girls being special, and you've got to be around them now for a few years. You're a junior. And what do you think that from not just the senior class, but for the whole group, you can take from being around this group that will carry into your life after basketball?
I think our team really speaks of like having each other's back. It's like knowing that there are going to be people who are going to support you, and they're going to give you advice and tell you, it's like, hey, it's like, we're here for you even if you're feeling down. And I think that's just really important to be able to connect with people.
It's awesome. Very, very good point. As you guys see the crown, don't forget Tegan is a court-warming princess candidate. Friday night, the guys at home against Rolla. Come out, support your girls that are going to be all dressed in their gowns at halftime, and also support the guys that are going to play in Rolla. Big games coming up. Before I get rid of you and kick you off the set, besides the fact that you like fried potatoes, give me a random fact about you that no one would know and is maybe a little bit peculiar.
Ooh. Oh man. I don't know, but I like singing, and I'm not actually the best. And whenever I don't know the song, I just mumble along.
Okay, let us be the judge of that. You want to sing for us?
No, I don't.
I'm an awful singer, but anyone else want to hear us sing?
No.
I mean, everyone here wants to hear. No? Not going to happen?
I need the music because it just goes better that way.
Okay, understand. Hey, thank you very much, Tegan. Appreciate it. Good luck. Go win that court-warming princess. We appreciate you coming on the set. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Everyone, that's Tegan Shockley on the Roundball Roundup. We'll be right back with assistant head coach Sarah Jenkins after this.
It's time to accelerate. What's Accelerate, you ask? Oh, just the hottest new magazine to hit the lake area, covering high school sports in Eldon, Osage, Versailles, Camden, and Lebanon, also covering health, wellness, fitness, and nutrition. With 4 seasonal issues every year, pick up the most recent issue at most local retailers or at all covered schools to get expert insight, pictures, feature articles, and much more. Also, download the Accelerate app on your smartphone to get up-to-the-minute scores. So if life is slowing you down, don't live another minute without your copy of Accelerate.
Polylift boat lifts.
Your boat is a major investment. Make sure it sits on a poly lift.
When you need a boat lift to raise your boat out of the water, choose the one voted best boat lift at the lake. choose Polylift. Any size, built with the best quality construction, a lifetime warranty on the tanks, and the service to stand behind it. We don't just build boat lifts, we build Polylifts.
We don't just build boat lifts, we build poly lifts.
Back here on the Roundball Roundup, and we are now being joined by assistant head coach on the women's side, Sarah Jenkins. Coach, what's happening?
Nothing. Just living life and loving basketball right now.
Now, I just want to say, she warned me she's not going to get personal, so it doesn't matter how deep I dig, she's not going to give me any details about her life. So we're going to stick to basketball. Before you came to Camdenton, you talked about being here. This is your 4th year. Where were you at before that, and what did you want to do?
I was a kindergarten teacher in Liberty, Missouri. I was there for 5 years, and teaching was my passion. Loved kids. That's where I wanted to be. But there was always that small, missing place in my heart. I'd go and watch some of the, the Lady Liberty girls play, and it always felt like something was missing. And then I ended up moving to the lake, and this opportunity kind of fell in my lap. And I thought, I'll give it a try and see what happens. And I was very fortunate that Coach Caffey wanted to bring me on, and it's been wonderful ever since.
Yeah, I mean, the 4 years you guys have been together, this year 4th, some big time accolades you girls have accomplished.
Yes. I mean, we have an amazing group of girls. They are an outstanding group, and it's not only on the basketball court but also off the court. And so it's very wonderful for Coach Caffey and I and Coach Mulder to be a part of this, because it's so much more than just athletics, to be able to see these girls grow and go on. And they've also been a huge part for us as well. I mean, they've really, filled my heart. I know that they've done the same thing for Coach Caffey, and it's been a wonderful experience.
And that resonates to people that are around the program, the parents, the fans. I mean, all of us. You just around it for any extended period of time, and you realize there is something very, very different about this group. What if one thing why is this group so different?
I think just in general, I mean, these girls are amazing. I mean, their GPAs speak for themselves. They're incredibly intelligent. They're hilarious.
Yes.
But they're also so kind and so wonderful as just general human beings. And, they hold each other accountable for one another, as well as on the court and off the court. But when they step onto that court, I mean, they are a force to be reckoned with. I mean, their determination is, it's impeccable. You really can't stop them. And when they do come to a roadblock, they always come together as a group to figure out how to get around it to be successful.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. They've been super fun to be around. Now, Coach, before you got into teaching kindergarten, you had a playing career of yourself. Touch on that just a bit.
I don't know if I'd call it too much of a career, but I went and played Central Methodist. I was there for a couple years. I ended up continuing to damage my body through injuries, and so I tore my ACL when I was a junior in high school, and it just never really got any better from that. So, as they say, if you can't play, you coach, and so that's kind of the path that I've continued on.
Okay, so looking at this team, how far do you really think you girls can go this season?
Oh, that's a really bad question to ask for me, because I'm always the one that, I'm not superstitious, but I always am knocking on wood. I don't like to ever contradict anything, but we continue to get better every single day. And we've talked about it, about how these girls, they learn from their mistakes, and they have come together stronger than they've ever been. And they are able to withstand pressure. And with that being said, I think that these girls are going to be very successful this year.
Okay, Coach, you touched on the kindness factor and just the outstanding group of girls they are. And you hear how they say coaches can contribute to players, but you talked about them filling your heart. Give me one thing that Sarah Jenkins has grown in because being around this group of girls.
In all honesty, it gives me hope for humanity. We live in a very difficult place, and not only economically, but also here in Camdenton. I mean, there's a lot of sadness and a lot of families in need. And so I come to work every day, and I try really, really hard to do what I can. And when I look at these young ladies, I can see that they are going to go on and touch many, many lives. And they're going to go on and be very, very successful. And I know that with that helps me to know that what we are doing as coaches with our strong morals and our strong values and expectations, that they are helping us to learn that what we have for them is the right place, and the things that we are trying to teach them is going to be successful.
Awesome, good answer. And you're right. I mean, I've been around a lot of high school teams, and never have I felt more challenged to be better in different areas of my life than being around this group of girls. And so kudos to your coaching staff and kudos to the parents and just everyone involved, because it's something very, very special. And if you haven't got to be around, keep an eye out for what these girls are going to accomplish, because you hit the nail on the head. They're going to change and touch a lot of lives and do some big-time things for humanity.
Yes,
Coach, thanks for coming on. Good luck the rest of the way. We'll be following you closely.
Thank you.
Everyone, that's assistant head women's coach Sarah Jenkins on the Roundball Roundup. We'll be right back after this.
Polylift boat lifts.
Your boat is a major investment. Make sure it sits on a poly lift.
When you need a boat lift to raise your boat out of the water, choose the one voted best boat lift at the lake. Choose Polylift. Any size, built with the best quality construction, a lifetime warranty on the tanks, and the service to stand behind it. We don't just build boat lifts, we build Polylifts.
We don't just build boat lifts, we build poly lifts.
Lake TV and LakeExpo.com are bringing the community closer together with the Lake of the Ozarks news update, keeping you up to date on recent developments and upcoming events. Watch it every weekday on Lake TV or on the web at mylaketv.com.
Back here on the Roundball Roundup, and it's our sponsor spotlight, and I've got the owner of Polylift, Mike Mawson. Mike, what's happening?
Oh, gosh, just got back from doing some traveling, getting ready for the St. Louis Boat Show, the St. Charles Boat Show. We're excited about moving the Osage Beach location to out in front of Hy-Vee next to the Central Bank. Lots of things are going on. The Paradise pads have been taken off that we started selling last year. Several of them, we just had customers in yesterday picking up another one. Word's traveling. It's a good product, and we're selling quite a few.
What exactly is a Paradise pad for those watching? I mean, we're going to show them, but what is it?
It's a big foam pad that you roll out on the dock, roll out on the water, and you can lay around on. The kids can run around on.
Fits up to how many people?
Holy, it depends. I mean, some of them are like 18 feet long. You can get them. You can adjust. You can get different lengths and stuff and different floating capacities. But I mean, some of those I've seen 10, 12 people hanging out on all together, and kids. When you put little ones on there, they can even more people can hang out on them. So it's a lot of fun. My kids enjoy it.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah,
way cool. So the Paradise Pad, the new location, tons of things going. We got shows everywhere. So Polylift's rocking, ready for the summer of 2016. The season is, we say, right around the corner, but basically here by the time you blink an eye. But something cool, some Camdenton football players, since we're talking Camdenton sports, had an opportunity, including your son, Ryan, had an opportunity to attend a very, very prestigious opportunity in Dallas, Texas. Touch on that a little bit.
It was USA football. Incredible program. This season starts out in early spring. So early spring last year, these kids go to regional camps all across the United States. They get evaluated. This is a non-contact camp. They learn some valuable skills, get some great coaching. USA Football does not only pick great athletes, but they want great athletes with great attitudes. Mm-hmm. So that is a big thing. Okay, so there's several of these kids got picked out of that group to go to the next level, which is the week before 4th of July last year. They went, and it was a week long of contact sports, and they get more coaching and more development. And that leads up to a game at the end of that week, and all those players compete against each other. And then out of those groups, out of the film and evaluation, the kids get picked to go to the Nationals. And this was the first year, actually, that they let the U14 and U15 kids actually compete against each other. They were trying to get it so they would play against Canada. Mm-hmm. Canada couldn't work that out with their youth to get that many youth down here or to Dallas. But what a thrill for these 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds. And then there's U16, 17, 18, and 19 teams. The starting above the 15, the U16 and above, they all got to play against Canada. And there's a trophy that goes back and forth. If Team USA wins more games, then they get the trophy. Last year, they actually lost the trophy to Canada. So it was a big, big deal this year to get it back, and they did.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it was great.
So what kids from Camdenton got to go start with their grades or ages, and then who went?
In the U14 class, that was Eli Griffin. Mm-hmm. And so he was a 7th grader last year. In U15, it was Ryan Mawson. My son, and then
the only 8th grader in the state of Missouri that got selected to go to this camp.
Yeah, it was quite a deal. We
Very
were really,
prestigious.
Really proud of him to be the only Missourian there, and he was very proud to represent the United States. In the U16 class, it was Kylan Draper, and then I believe in the U17 class, it was Jay Griffin. Eli's older brother, who contributed a lot last year for the Camden Lakers as a
and
sophomore.
we expect to see some big things out of Jay from the tailback position for Coach Shore's squad this year, which, honestly, talking with Coach Shore, I think they're going to be back right in the thick of things in the Ozark Conference. I know that we're in the thick of basketball season, but I'm already salivating at the thought of Camden Laker football this season, which is right around the corner. You talk about August, only, 5 months away.
Yeah, 5 months away is, when their practices start. They'll have their camps in June and July. I know the high school does some camps, that they do some team camps and things like that as well. So that's great, and it gets them thinking about it, and they get done with their winter sports. I know we've got basketball to finish up here. The boys are about done. The girls are about done. The girls look like they're going to go pretty far in the postseason, which is really nice.
Yeah, outstanding.
So we get these things going, and Camdenton's really starting to build some programs, and it's really nice to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, certainly appreciate you coming on and all you do for the community, especially Camden Lakers sports. You're a big part of that. We appreciate you coming on and helping us out with our show. Mike, good luck with you guys this season at Poly. It's going to be a huge season.
Looking forward to it.
Tons of stuff going on, and I'm getting the opportunity to go out in your speedboat this year, right?
Yes, you will. We'll absolutely have to go out and have some good times.
Yeah, I can't wait for that, man. Hey, thanks again for coming on. Go Lakers.
Great.
Mike, appreciate you coming on.
Thank you. Thanks.
Mike Mawson, owner of Polylift Boat Lifts, the best lift money can buy at the lake. That's Polylift. 2 locations. Check them out. Thanks again. You're watching the Roundball Roundup. We'll be right back after this.
Polylift Boat Lifts.
Your boat is a major investment. Make sure it sits on a poly lift.
When you need a boat lift to raise your boat out of the water, choose the one voted best boat lift at the lake. Choose Polylift. Any size, built with the best quality construction, a lifetime warranty on the tanks, and the service to stand behind it. We don't just build boat lifts, we build Polylifts.
We don't just build boat lifts, we build poly lifts.
That's a wrap for this week's Roundball Roundup. We thank you for watching. Ron, some big-time games for the guys' side of it. Go and touch on their schedule this week.
Well, they got court warming this Friday against Rolla. Big game. Rolla's a great team. Come out and watch them, support them for court warming. And then Tuesday, they're back home again against Battle. So, and Battle's a team that we match up really well against. So, looking forward to that game.
Pack the house. Then Wednesday night, the girls are going to be at Bolivar for a makeup game against Buffalo. And then they got a big-time game on Thursday at Rolla, and they return to the home court Monday to play rival Lebanon. Do not miss those games. Support your girls in Camden. We certainly appreciate you watching the show. We'll see you next week.
Lake TV Sports thanks you for watching this edition of Roundball Roundup from the Funky Buffalo. Watch for a brand new edition next Thursday at 12:30 on the Lake TV Network.